Hi, everybody. Hi, Mom, if you're out there. We're going to do 45-minute beginner Pilates workout today. The only equipment you're going to need is some sort of book, brick, anything. You can probably use a towel if you don't happen to have a book to hand. This is a yoga brick. It's about 2.5 inches thick, so something about that side that's a little bit squishy. So if you're using a book, make sure it's a paperback. Not absolutely necessary. If you don't have one, don't worry about it too much. You can just squeeze your knees together because we're going to mostly be putting it between our legs and squeezing. So you can always just do that without the book or the block. Right, we're going to start standing up. Have a look at your feet. Toes and heels should be in a line. Draw your abdominals in and start to lift your glutes. Just squeeze your bum a little bit. Take a big breath in, lift the arms overhead. And as you breathe out, come up into your balance. Just holding there as high as you can, narrowing the waist. Lower the heels down and up. Breathe in and out for 3 and 2. Last one. Come up and hold. Reach your arms out to the side as you slowly drop your heels down to the mat. Drop your chin to your chest, round the spine, and then slowly rolling down over the legs, letting the weight of your head just draw you down, stretching into your hamstrings. I want you to hold there. Take a big breath in, nod your head. Just relax the back of the neck and then shake the head side to side, shaking your head no. Good. Now bend your knees, scoop the belly button in, and slowly roll yourself back up to standing. Just restacking one vertebra at a time. Just lifting your ribs on top of the hips, your shoulders come on top of the ribs, head comes on top of the shoulders. And then inhale again, lift the arms up over your head, and then exhale, come up into your balance. Shoulders away from the ears, nice narrow waist. We're gonna turn, so turn your shoulders to the left, hips stay facing forward, stay high on those toes. Try to continue to balance as you face the front, then turn to the right, hips stay facing forward, just turning the shoulders, pull your inner thighs together, try to stay high on those toes. Inhale, come back to the center. Breathe in as you lower your heels down, chin to your chest, and arms by your side. And one more time, just rolling over those legs, breathing out as you come down. Now, once your hands are close to the mat, I want you to bend your knees and rest your chest on top of the knees. Just get the hips really low into a squat, almost parallel to the floor. Hands down on the floor, and then try to keep your hands on the floor as you straighten your legs out. Then again, breathe in, bend the knees, drop the chest down on top of the knees, hands to the mat, and then straighten your legs out as you stretch. One last time, bend the knees, drop the hips, and then straighten. It's really just a hamstring stretch, trying to kind of trick your body into getting a little bit closer, getting those hands a little closer to the mat. Now soften your knees, walk your hands out so you're coming out into a plank. Now you hold your plank. Lift your head, check your shoulders down, zip the belly button in, squeeze your glutes, drop the right knee, and then the left. Just come pedal through those knees. Pull the toes in, almost down to the top of your foot. Stay there, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back into your high plank. We're going to zip your heels together, inner thighs touching, belly button pulled in, and then tap your hand to your opposite shoulder. Staying here for 8, 7, alternating sides, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into your plank, and then again, lift your hips up, open your feet out a little bit so they're hip width apart, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine, slowly roll yourself all the way up. Just re-stepping one vertebra on top of the other, shoulders on top of ribs, head on top of the shoulders. Inhale, lift the arms up, and then exhale up into your balance one last time. And lower your heels, arms reach out to your sides, and I'm going to lace your fingers together behind your back. Lift your arms up and just really open the chest, looking up to the ceiling. Then breathe out, drop your chest down over your legs, letting the arms drop away from your body. Still lacing the fingers together behind the back. Just hold that stretch there, letting those arms drop away, opening up the shoulders. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, let the hands drop down to the mat. Bend your knees. Get your hands all the way to the mat. Again, walking forward as you breathe out. Good. Now from here, we're just going to, again, we're just going to come into a little push-up. Inhale down. Now let's modify this. This is a beginning class, so let's drop to the knees. Drop the chest. Exhale, lift. And lower. Lift. Last 3. And 2. Last one. I'm going to press the mat away and sit back onto your heels, coming all the way back. Stretching your arms, resting your head. Big breath in, and then drag your hands back. Just sitting back onto your heels. Now, I want you to find your brick or book or whatever you're using and flip onto your back. Just changing position, coming all the way down. And once we're there, have your book next to you. And we're just going to draw the belly button in, button your ribs down towards your hips, but keep a little bit of space under your lower back. So you get that natural curve under your lower back. Now, if you're not using a book, if you don't have anything to hand, we're going to lift the knees up one at a time, and I just want you to squeeze your knees together. So really zip the inner thighs together, just everything pulling in tight. If you do have the brick, slot the brick between your inner thighs. Now make sure it's between the soft tissue of the muscles, not the bones of your knees. We're trying to have it so the knees wrap around the top of that brick or book. So you just feel it, feel the muscles holding that brick tight. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, lift your head, lift your shoulders, look towards that brick and start pumping the arms. Breathing in for 4 beats. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 4 beats of the arms, and then exhale for 4 beats of the arms. Head and shoulders stay up off the mat unless you want to modify. If you have any neck injury, you may prefer to have the head down, but keep zipping the core in tight. So tightening those abdominals. Keep squeezing the brick, and also lift the pelvic floor. So try to scoop and hollow the abdominals kind of from within. Inhale. Breathe out, 2, 3. Keep squeezing that brick, or if you don't have a brick, squeeze the inner thighs together. 2 more breaths, breathing in for 4. 2, 3, 4. Last one, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. Good. Take the shoulders down, take your head down, take your hands behind your head, just lacing the fingers together behind your head. We're going to breathe out, lift the shoulders up. We're going to lower the toes down to the mat. Keep your knees bent. Exhale, lift the knees back up. Now, if you want to modify this, if that felt too strong, just drop the head down, lower the toes to the mat, keep the knees bent, keep squeezing the knees and the inner thighs together. 3 more, breathing out as you lower, breathe in as you lift, and 2, exhale, and inhale. Last one, down and up, and then drop your shoulders, grab your brick, and pull your knee into the chest. Add a little bit of movement side to side. Great. All right, pop the brick away, hug your right knee in, and stretch your left leg long. Point that toe to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. So it's about a 45-degree angle. The lower that leg is, the more challenging it's going to be. So this is a beginner. Let's keep the leg a little bit high. Lift your head, lift your shoulders away from the ears, switch the legs. So strong exhale. With each knee pull, chin draws in towards your chest, taking the weight of that head forward. Again, if you have a neck injury or if you feel like your neck is just really tense, just drop the head down to the mat. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the shoulders back, take the head down, a little bit of movement side to side, just stretching the neck. Lift the knees back to your tabletop position. Hands behind the head now to support that neck. Now lift the head and the shoulders, and we're going to turn as you stretch one leg out, other knee comes into the chest. Change and change. Stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take the shoulders down, just a quick reset, recovery. And then lift your knees back up to our tabletop position. Arms off the edge of the mat. So reaching the hands to the sides of the room. Really glue your shoulders down. Narrow the waist. Another little pelvic floor lift. So imagine sit bones, base of the pelvis drawing together as you lift up from underneath. Inhale, drop your knees down to the right as you turn your head to the left. Let gravity take those knees down. Lift that hip up, but keep the shoulder down. Exhale, lift the knees back to the midline. Inhale, drop the knees down to the left. Knees stay together, feet stay together. Turn your head to the right. Again, your shoulders are stuck to the mat. The hips, one hip will roll off the mat as those knees drop. Back to the center. One more time each way. Inhale to drop. Feel that lovely twist, that stretch through your spine. Exhale. Imagine the knees just sliding along a wall. Coming back to that top point. So I don't want the knees kind of curling in towards your chest, going too far away from you. It's like a wall coming up from the hips. Last one. Inhale down. And then exhale, lift the knees back to the center. Again, take your hands behind the head to support your neck. We're gonna breathe out, lift the shoulders, stretch your legs, turn your toes out. So rotate both toes away from each other, heels together, and then inhale, take the shoulders back down to the mat. Exhale, lift the shoulders, stretch the legs at that little rotation, little V between your heels. So your heels are touching, your toes are turned out, and then inhale, take the shoulders back. Now, let's grab that book, or if you want to use that brick, it just adds a little bit more of that deep abdominal connection. The more we work our inner thighs, the more it helps your transverse abdominis, your corset muscle, to really wrap and hold you tight. So we want to strengthen that as much as possible. So if you can, grab that brick, put it between the knees, breathe out, lift the head, let the shoulders stretch, add that little rotation, squeeze the brick, big pelvic floor lift, hold, inhale, shoulders down, bend the knees, and again, shoulders up, legs long, turn the toes up, squeeze that brick between the inner thighs, get that deep lift from underneath, inhale down, 2 more, shoulders high, legs long, little turn out, rotate those toes outward, squeeze the brick, and back. If this feels too strong, just keep the knees bent, lift the shoulders one more time, and back. Take the brick, hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Excellent. Now pop the brick away, lift the toes up to the ceiling, just get a lovely stretch through your hamstrings, rub the backs of the legs, move your feet around, just get that circulation flowing through the ankles and your legs. Point your toes. Now we're going to lift your head up and hold the right leg, left leg drops down. Switch. Now if you want to modify this, if that feels too strong, keep your head down on the mat. Knees can be soft if you struggle to get your legs straight, but if you can, try to get the legs as straight as you can, like proper scissors. Stay there for 6 and 5. Again, option to have the head up, 4, 3, 2, and I want you to hold the next one. See how straight you can get that top leg. So you lift the shoulders higher, away from the mat. Inhale, change. Again, hold one leg, stretch and straighten that leg. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Draw your belly button in tight. And then take the shoulders down and pull your knees in. And take a big breath. Great. So now we're back in our tabletop position, but we're taking our hands and wrapping them across the sides of your waist. Kind of pull the sides of the waist together, narrowing, and again, engaging that transverse abdomen. So imagine you're kind of zipping up a really tight wetsuit, something that pulls everything in. Now we'll lower the right toe down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale as you lift that knee back up. Keep the knee bent. Inhale, lower your left toe down. Tap the mat like you're touching water. Exhale, lift the knee back up. Now take these fingertips and slide them under your lower back and make sure you have a little bit of space there, that you're not jamming that lower back into the mat. Your ribs are pointing to your hips. Your lowest back rib is down on the mat. So you keep the ribs down, but we're not tucking the tailbone. Last 2, and lift. 1 more, and lift. Now let's take the fingertips up to the ceiling, and we're going to extend the arm and leg, opposite arm to leg. So right arm goes overhead, left leg extends long. Come back to our starting point, what I call the dead bug position. Then left arm, right leg reaching, and then lifting. Again, try to maintain that neutral spine, that stability through the pelvis and your lower back, while we keep the muscles tight around your middle. It's almost like a lead blanket. It's just holding you perfectly still there. And back. Let's go one more time each way, reaching, and then coming back to our starting point, and reach, and back. Take a big breath in. Last one, we're going to do both arms and both legs. Feet together, knees together. We're going to stretch the legs as you reach your arms overhead. Inhale back. If that feels too strong, again, just go back to doing single legs. Alternate the legs. 3 more. Exhale, reach. Inhale, hands over the shoulders, knees over the hips. Head stays down. Last 2, reach. And back. The higher those legs are, the less strain it's going to be on the abdomen. So listen to your body. If it feels too strong, just point those toes straight up to the ceiling. Don't drop them too low. But if you want that challenge, lower the legs a little further. And then come back. Pull your knees all the way into your chest. Wrap the hands around the backs of the knees. Draw your chin up and into your chest. So you're in a tight little ball. And then see if you can roll yourself up. Your feet down on the mat. Straighten up your back. Pull your shoulders back. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to round the spine once again. Float those toes up off the mat. Try to hold your balance. And then so you can roll back to your shoulders and up, holding the balance there. So keeping the elbows wide, rounding the spine, feet together, knees together, roll back and up. Last two, roll back and up. One more, back and up. And then I want you to stretch your legs out in front of you. Slide your hands down the legs. Wrap around, again, pulling the chest down towards your knees, getting a stretch through your hamstrings. Breathe in, sit up nice and tall and straight. Cross one foot over the other. Pull that knee into your chest, pull your shoulders back, and then we're going to turn towards your knee. So if you have that left knee into your chest, your right arm wraps around it. So opposite arm to knee. Hug the knee in close. Breathe in, grow yourself an inch taller. Breathe out, twist a little further. And then change legs. So we're going to cross the right foot over that left leg. Left arm wraps around the right knee. Breathe in. Again, grow yourself an inch taller. Turning towards that knee, hugging the knee in. And then breathe out. Look over that shoulder to the back corner of the room. And then come back to your starting point. Now we're going to change positions, coming over to all fours. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water. I'm going to be focusing on the legs. So your hands are directly beneath your shoulders. So another good thing that these bricks are, you can use the bricks for, is a little bit of extra padding under your wrist. So if you find that when you're on all fours or in planks, that you get like a shooting pain all through the wrists, it's better to have a brick or something and grab onto the sides of the brick or to the top of that brick. It just gives you a little more padding. So feel free to use a book or a brick under those hands. We're going to stretch your right leg out, shoulders away from the ears, belly button pulled up and away, and just lift that leg up and down for 8 and 7. Keep your back perfectly still. Keep your ears in line with your shoulders. Keep lifting that spine up between your shoulder blades. Lift your lower back up towards the ceiling. Stay there for 3 and 2. Last one. Toe comes down to the mat. Now we tap out and in, like you're drawing a little hill with that toe. Reaching that foot off the edge of the mat without tilting the spine or the pelvis, without moving your shoulders. Stay there 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Come back to our starting point. I want you to point the toe. We're going to sweep the leg out and around. So drawing circles, sweeping out to the right, back to the midline, sweep out to the right. So it's like a circle just on the right side of the body. That foot comes back to the midline. When you complete that circle, last 2 and 1. Take the foot back down to the mat. Now we're going to breathe out. I want you to round the spine, drag that foot in, knee towards your forehead. Breathe in, straighten up the back as you slide the leg back. Breathe out, chin to chest, dragging that knee in. Breathe in, stretch it back. Now if your mat is quite sticky, you may need to lift your leg slightly up and back. But if you can slide it, good to get that friction between the top of your foot and the mat. Last one, breathing out, round the spine, knee to your forehead. Breathe in, straighten up the back as you stretch the leg. Now slide the toe to the corner of the mat. Last variation on the side. We're going to lift the right leg up, inhale down. So that toe is at the corner of the mat. The leg's at a long diagonal now, reaching to the corner of your ribs. Stay there for 5 and 4. Now there's a tendency to bend to your left side as that leg goes out to your right. Try to counteract that. Keep your left arm strong. Keep your left hip strong. Hold the last one up and just hang there for 5, 4. Really squeeze that muscle at the top of the leg. 3, 2. Stretch your leg long. And last one. Drop the right knee down. Sit back onto your heels. Circle your wrists. Both ways. Good. Now changing sides. Only use that brick if you need it. I'm fine. I'm going to slide mine away. Extend your left leg back, shoulders down. Lift the spine between the shoulder blades, pressing the mat away. And lift that leg up and down. Now if you look down, check that your toes are touching the mat each time and that your toes are pointing down to the mat. We're not rotating the leg outwards with this one. So the heel and the foot, toes are pointing down to the mat. We're not rotating the leg outwards with this one. So the heel and the foot are both kind of in one line, pointing down to the mat. Stay there for 5, 4. Make sure you're not collapsing into your lower back as that leg goes up. Keep the abdominals tight. 2 and 1. Take the toe back down. Zip the core in a little tighter. Lift the lower back. Breathe out. Tap the foot out and in, up and over, up and back. Think about your upper body, especially on the second side. When your arms start to get a little more tired, you may start to sink down into your shoulders. Let the head hang. Try to counteract that. Keep your ears in line with the shoulders. Imagine a string lifting the spine between your shoulder blades. So lifting it up to the ceiling. Last two, up and over, up and back, and one. Foot comes back in line with the hip. Right hip is over the right knee. Point that toe on that left leg. We're going to sweep it out and around. Sweep out and around. Keep the leg long and strong. Feel that glute really working at the top of the movement. Up and around. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2. Try to keep the middle back still. And 1. Take the foot back down to that. Now drag the knee in. Drop your head. Round your spine. Inhale. Lift the head. Straighten up the back. Exhale. Tuck. Dragging that foot in. Inhale. Reach. Last 3. And 2. So the upper body's working quite hard here. Really try to press into those fingertips to spread the weight right to the end of the hands. So it takes away from those wrists. Hold this last one. Leg stretches out and slide that foot out to the corner of your mat. Now we add a little turn out here. So the pinky toe is pointing up to the ceiling. Then lift that leg up. Hold. Inhale, lower back down. So the toe comes down to the corner of the mat. Then lifts up to the top, reaching to the top corner of the room. So there's 6 and 5. Nearly finished on the side. Try to keep the upper body strong. Keep the spine still. Last 3 and 2. We're going to hold the last one up. Small circles. Oh, actually, we didn't circle on the other side. We just held. So let's just hold it. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then drop the knee. Sit back onto your heels. Open your knees out and try to slide your ribs between your knees. Reaching your arms out along the mat. Really arching that back. Then drag your hands back, rolling through the spine, sitting back onto those heels until you're sitting up perfectly straight, and then lace the fingers behind the back, open the chest, look up to the ceiling, and then reverse that, lace the fingers in front, round the shoulders, look down towards the abdominals. Now lift the arms overhead, little swing to the left, and then to the right, then we open the arms, and we spin ourselves around once again. Come back to sitting and grab your prop. Place the brick between your knees and give it a good squeeze. We're going to hold the knees, tilt the pelvis, scoop your abdominals around your spine. So you're in our C curve. So your back makes this large letter C, your abdominals make a small letter C. So that belly button's pulled in tight, ribs pointing towards your hips. We're going to relax the shoulders away from the ears so we have a nice long neck. And then just come down and we're going to hold the backs of the knees, extend the arms, and then soften the elbows. Elbows out to the side walls. Extend the arms, soften the elbows. Now if you want to dial this up, you want to make it a little more challenging, just float the hands out just above the knees. Just lower, use the abdominals to support you without that extra support of the hands. 4 more. And 3. Keep your feet glued to the mat and keep that squeeze on that brick. Again, the more we work those inner thighs, the more the transverse abdominis helps to tighten, which is going to support the lower back. Hold the next one. Try to click yourself 1 inch lower, shoulders away from the ears, lift the right arm up, exhale, inhale down. Now you've got the option to be hold on to the backs of the knees. Left arm goes up and down. 4 more, alternating arms. 4 and 3. Last 2. And 1. Take the hands back, straighten up the back, pull your shoulders back, inhale, and then exhale, round the spine, scoop the belly, turn to your left, both hands on that left leg. We're gonna get drop, extend the arms, and then bend the elbows, soften, tuck, and lift. Option to take the hands away, just gonna make a circle with those arms. Staying there for 4, squeeze the brick between the knees. 3, wrap the abdominals tight around your middle, scoop the belly button in. Last 1, turn a little further to the left. Left arm goes up, option to hold on to that leg. Then the right arm, left. Really get the arm up over your head, almost behind the ear. 1 more time, each side. And lift and down. And take the hands back from the knees. Quick stretch, just resetting your alignment each time before we change position. Tilt the pelvis, round the spine, rolling back once again. We turn to the right now, elbows wide, down an inch and up an inch, just showing what's happening from the front, turning the shoulders to the right corner of the room. Make sure the shoulders face the hand, option to hold on to that right leg if you want that extra support. Stay there 4, but again, shoulders turn to the right. 3, last 2, hold the last one, lift the right arm up and down, and the left arm goes up, almost behind that ear. Shoulders stay turned to the right corner of the room. Chin lifted, nice wide collarbones. We're not hunching forward. Last 2 and 1. Take the hands back to the knees and stretch out your back, just straightening up. Great. Now we are going to turn that brick if you're using it. Well, if your brick is as big as mine, you might need to turn it. If it's not, just keep it in the same position. You're going to roll yourself all the way down to the mat and then slide your feet in. So your feet are directly beneath your knees. Now you should, if you reach your hands towards your feet, you should be able to touch your heels on either side. So that's how close in those heels are, close to your hips. Lay your hands across your lower abdominals and press your lower back down into the mat. Draw the belly button in, pelvic floor lifting up and away. So imagine tailbone pulling up to your pubic bone curling in towards your chest, scooping the belly button in tight, imprinting the lower back into the mat. Inhale, expand the rib cage out like an umbrella opening. And then exhale, close that umbrella down, narrow the waist, squeeze the brick, lift the pelvic floor. 2 more breaths like that. So inhale, expand the rib cage out. Think about opening that umbrella. Exhale, close the ribs, draw the belly button in, lower back imprints, pelvic floor lifts. 1 more inhale, expanding into those ribs. And then exhale, close the ribs down, narrow the waist, press the lower back down, lift the pelvic floor. Now just a little breath in, and then we're going to peel the spine up. So actually I'm going to take my fingertips up to the ceiling just so you can see what's happening with my spine. So I want you to lift the pelvis first, so the tailbone and the hip bones, then 1 vertebra at a time, come through your lower back, slowly through your middle back, and then all the way up to the shoulders. Now squeeze the glutes really tight, squeeze your bum, button your ribs towards your hips. We just shorten those abdominals, kind of closing the abdominals off. Squeeze that brick or whatever's between the knees. If you don't have anything, just squeeze your legs together. Inhale, drop the hips down. Exhale, lift. Breathe in to lower and out to lift. Stay there for 6 and 5. Make sure you touch the mat each time. Come down to the mat. Stay there for 6 and 5. Make sure you touch the mat each time. Come down to the mat and then lift all the way up. So lift all the way up. So don't cheat yourself by just doing half an exercise, coming halfway down or halfway up. Last 2. Hold the last one up. Now little squeeze at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I want you to hold it up, really narrow the waist bend. So it's tightening a belt around your middle. Then reach your arms all the way behind you. Backs the hands touching the floor. Stretch the fingertips. Lift the hips even higher. And we're going to melt your spine back down. Imagine a pearl necklace, 1 bead at a time, dropping down into the mat. So we roll through your upper back, 1 vertebra at a time, through your middle back. Really tilt the pelvis to get through the 5 joints of your lower back before your hip bones, and then your tailbone comes down. And then inhale, taking your hands back to your sides. Take a deep breath in. Now, if you feel like your inner thighs are starting to really hurt, maybe it's better to take the brick away. So sometimes you can overdo the inner thigh connection. So let's actually all remove that brick and come up onto your tiptoes. Hands to the lower abdominals, imprint that lower back down, tilting the pelvis, drawing everything in. Another big breath in, think umbrella breath, expanding to the sides of the rib cage. And then as you contract those ribs down, we peel the spine straight up. Again, I'm going to lift my hands so you can see the articulation, 1 vertebra at a time, slowly lifting up off the mat. I don't want you to take it too quickly. Pull those knees in towards each other as if there was still a brick between your knees. Then lower the hips down. Exhale, lift. Now, if you struggle to be on the toes, if you feel any cramp coming on through your calves, lower those heels down. Take little breaks as necessary. Stay there for 4. And 3, narrow the waist as you lift 2. Last 1, we come up and hold, then breathe in, reach the arms all the way behind you. Reach those fingertips and then breathe out. Drop the rib cage down first. Roll through your middle back second, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once that 1 hits, the tailbone is down. Drop your heels and take your hands back to your sides. Now, lift your right toe up to the ceiling. I'm going to give that back of the leg a bit of a stretch. So again, just grab that leg. Keep your pelvis really still. And we're going to do some small circles with that right leg. Pelvis is on the mat. We're trying to maintain a neutral spine. So a little bit of a gap under the lower back, not imprinting. Last 2 and 1. Reverse your circle. 6 the other way. So just use your hands just to check that nothing is moving. Try not to wobble as that leg circles. Last 2 and 1. Now flex the foot. Lower the leg down to the mat. Point the toe. Lift it back up. Flex as you lower. Point as you lift. So the movement of the foot is a bit like you're painting a fence. The toes go up as the leg goes down. The toes go down as the leg goes up. Stay there for 4, 3, last 2, 1, and then take your right foot down, lift your left leg up, so changing sides, hold the back of the leg, give it a little bit of a stretch, try to maintain that neutral spine, that gap under the lower back with that leg straight, pointing to the ceiling, small circle, 6, 5, no movement through the pelvis, through the ribs, 3, 2, and 1, reverse, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Flex the foot, lower the leg down to the mat, point the toe, lift it all the way back up. Try not to imprint that lower back into the mat as that toe comes up to the ceiling. Try not to move the pelvis at all. And lift. Again, think about the movement of the foot, working into that ankle. So toes point up as the leg goes down, toes point down as the leg goes up. Last 2, and lift, and 1, and lift. Now take that foot down to the mat. You're going to take your hands behind your head. We're going to breathe out, pull your head and shoulders up off the mat, and we're imprinting the spine now. So pressing that lower back down. Reach your right hand to the top of your left knee. Inhale back. Left hand reaches to the top of the right knee. Inhale back. Stay there for 6, and 5. Last 4, reach the knee, really stretch that arm, try to get to the top of the knee, 3, and 2, last 1, and down. Now draw your knees into your chest, hold the backs of the knees, draw your chin into your chest, so again, you're rolled up into a little ball, and you're going to roll yourself all the way up to sitting. And come onto your side. I'm going to prop your head up onto your arm. Take your knees to the front edge of your mat and your feet to the front edge of your mat. So it's like you're sitting in a straight back chair. I want you to use your hands on this top leg to add a little bit of pressure and resistance. I'm going to lift the knee and the foot. Just go up and down. Just with a little bit of pressure, downward pressure on that hand to make this muscle, your glute medius, the side butt, just work a little harder. Start to build up a little bit of a burn with each lift of the leg. Stay there for 5, 4, also works your arm a little bit as well. 2, and hold. Now circle the knee. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the core strong. Protect your lower back. Reverse. 4, 3. Always with strong, tight abdominals. Last 1. Lower the foot. Lower the knees. Now try to straighten up your spine. Relax your shoulders. Get like another inch of length through that neck. And then lift the knee. Keep your feet together. Still with that pressure on that knee to add a little more resistance to there. 8 and 7. Last 6. Make sure the knees come back together, that you're not rocking back at all to get that knee up. Last 2 and 1. Take the knees back down, and now take that hand to the front. We're going to stretch your legs out. Roll your shoulders back, so shoulder blades together behind your back. Bend your knee, point the knee up to the ceiling, so you can kick that toe up to the ceiling. Flex your foot, heels back together. 3 more. Knee to the ceiling, toe to the ceiling, and then heels back together. Now you have the option to rest your lower leg on the mat. That's going to be a little bit easier, but if you can, hover that lower leg. Last one. Really try to open the knee out, open that hip, and then come back together. Now point the toes, squeeze the inner thighs. We're going to reverse the movement. So I'm going to lift that leg straight up, bend the knee, slide the toe along that lower leg, heels together. Lift, bend, and it's almost like you're striking a match, getting that friction between the toe of the top leg and the inside of that lower leg. One more, lift, bend, and sweep. Now I'm going to lower your feet down, lower your head down, relax your shoulders. We're going to lift both legs back up and then just scissor both legs. 6, 5, both legs are straight. 4, 3. Now this might cause a little bit of friction or a little bit of pressure on that hip on the lower side. Try to work through that. Maybe slightly tilt your pelvis back towards that back wall to find a slightly softer spot. Last one. Legs come back together. Now just lift that leg up for 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2. So long straight leg. Point the toe up and down. Last one. We just slowly resist gravity as it comes down to the mat. Drop your feet. Take your knee forward and the hand that was under the head holds the knee. Other arm reaches behind you. Back of the hand touching the floor. Just kind of push your water, everything out of the way. I'm going to swing that arm over your head, sweeping the fingertips along the floor as you come all the way around. One more big circle in that direction, like you're drawing a chalk circle with one finger around your body. Now look over that wall, over your shoulder to the wall behind you, and then reverse your circles, 2 big circles the other way, all the way around. And last one, circling all the way around. Good. Pull your knees back together, change sides, just work your hands up to sit up. Flip to the opposite end of your mat. Prop your head up, swing your knees and feet forward, shoulders back, zip the core in tight. So all movement starts with a good strong foundation. Hand goes on top of the knee for that little bit of pressure, lift and lower. Foot and knee stay level. So I don't want to see that foot kind of popping up high. Just keep the knee and the foot traveling at the same speed. Stay there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, just check those knees come back together each time. Let's hold the next one. 4 circles. 4, 3, think up and around. 2, and 1. Straighten up your back. Check your shoulders. Reverse your circles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now feet together, knees together. Straighten up and lengthen your spine. Keep that pressure, downward pressure on the knee with the hand. Lift the knee against that pressure. Feet stay together. So just open the knees out like a clam. Stay here for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to really get that space between the knees. 3, 2, and 1. Knees come back together. Take that hand down. Stretch your legs out. Both legs are up off the mat. Roll the shoulder back. So just try to lengthen, find another inch of length in your neck. Bend the knee points up to the ceiling, opening up the hip, lift the toe to the ceiling, flex your foot, heels come back together. So trying to keep those legs long and straight. Knee points to the ceiling, toe to the ceiling, flex foot, heels back together. 2 more times. Imagine a string, pulling that knee up, kicking that toe up, and then resisting gravity as you come back down. Last one, knee, toe, and reach. Point the toes. Make sure your hip hasn't rolled back to that back wall. Try to keep your hips stacked. Now lift the top leg up, bend the knee, sweep the toe along the lower leg. So we've reversed the move. The leg stays straight as you lift it up, bend the knee points to the ceiling, and then we slowly zip those inner thighs back together. 3 more here. Lift, bend, toe stays pointed throughout. That lower leg ideally hovering up off the mat, but you've got that option to modify to give yourself a little bit of break. You need to dropping that lower leg down. Last one, lift, bend, sweep, and hold. Now drop the feet, drop the head, shoulders behind your back. We're going to lift both feet up off the mat and scissor the legs. Both legs stay straight, so the feet are going to the edges of your mat. It's like your feet are running along tracks, like skis. Nothing moves through the pelvis, through the ribs, through your spine. You're perfectly still, like a vice is holding you through the lower abdominals and your lower back. Stay there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs come back together. Try to lift your head, lengthen your neck, and then again, lift that top leg up and down. Just 8 times. 7, 6. Try to keep the lower leg hovering. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs come back down to the mat. Let the top knee drop forward. Hand from the head holds the knee. Other arm reaching behind you. Look over your shoulder to the wall behind. Try to get the back of your hand touching the floor, your fingertips touching the floor. Circle the arm over your head, sweep it in front of you, all the way around past the leg, and back. One more circle in this direction. Try to sweep along the floor as you move that arm. And then reverse the circles, 2 circles the other way. All the way around. Last one. And all the way around. Good. Okay, nearly finished. We're going to roll over onto your front. Elbows out to your sides. Lift the weight of your belly up away from the mat. So again, belly button pulled into the spine. Imagine if you create like a little millimeter of space under those abdominals. Just everything lifting up away from the mat, like the mat was really heavy or really hot. Now lift the chest, pull your elbows into a W shape, almost kind of kissing the elbows to the sides of the rib cage. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, pull the elbows in, lifting your chest. Inhale, fingertips reaching to the wall in front of you as you drop the chest. 4 more. Elbows pull in, shoulder blades together. Inhale, stretch. Try to keep the feet down on the mat. Try to keep the feet relaxed. 3. Last 2. Lift and lower. And 1. And reach. Now drop the chest and take your hands down along your sides. So the backs of the hands touching the floor. Keep your feet down on the mat. We're going to breathe out. Lift the chest. Rotate your arms. Turn the pinkies up to the ceiling. Look down to the mat, so we're lengthening the back of the neck, and then inhale, lower the chest, back to the hands, come back to the floor. Exhale, lift the chest, rotate those arms, turn the pinkies up. Imagine you're pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades, lifting that chest high. Inhale, lower back down. 4 more there. Breathing out to lift. Inhale to lower. Keep the belly button pulled in. Try to find that millimeter of space under those abdominals again. Imagine that mat. Let's actually make it a cold mat. It's like there's an ice cube under your belly button. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now relax your upper body. I want you to put your heels together behind your back and flex your feet. So it's like the soles of your feet are like a little pedestal. So imagine you're trying to balance something on the soles of the feet. So they point straight up to the ceiling. Knees are at the edges of your mat, and we're going to lift those knees up. Now, they may not go up very high at all. Maybe just come up maybe a millimeter. It doesn't matter how high they go. As long as you're trying to squeeze the heels together and lift those legs up, you're going to be activating the glutes, where your glutes meet your lower back. So this will really help with lower back issues, keeping those glutes really strong. So there's 6 and 5. Just trying to lift those knees up. Keep the core strong. 3, last 2, and then last one. We try to hold the knees slightly off the mat as you stretch the toes out to the corners, bend the knees, flex the feet, heels come back together. So just point the toes, reaching the toes out to the corners of the mat, drawing the heels back together for 3, out and back. You can totally relax this if you need to. 2, just relaxing these down. The movement of the legs is also just good, as well as trying to lift them back up. Now drop your knees, hands under the shoulders. Sit back onto your heels. Lovely stretch here. Sitting back, kind of sliding the ribs between your knees again. But take your right hand to the right edge of your mat. Take your left hand, stack it on top of the right, and just reach that right corner of the room as you swing back into your left heel. Good, just hold that stretch, and then change. So left hand to the left edge of the mat, right hand stacks on top. Sit back into your right heel as you reach those arms to that left corner of the room. Come back to the center. Drag your hands back. And then roll yourself over onto your back. Gently, slowly coming all the way down, pulling your knees into the chest. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, so opposite ankle on that knee. Wrap the hands around the back of the thigh, so back of that left thigh. We're going to pull the knee in, open your shoulders out, and just let go. A big exhale, just really sighing. Soften your face, soften your throat. And then change the legs. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. Hands come around the back of the right thigh. So pull that knee into the chest. Again, open your shoulders out, just reaching them to the sides of the room. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, just let it go. Come back to the center. Now we're gonna uncross the legs, lift your right toe up to the ceiling, just pull that leg in. And then just holding that leg in your right hand, so you can take the leg out towards that right wall, out to your side to get your inner thigh stretch, maybe inching up towards your ankle if you get that leg straight. Then cross the leg across your body, switch hands on that leg, pull the leg in, getting that outer thigh stretch. So maybe feel it a little bit behind the knee or just in that hamstring, maybe on the outside of the knee. Come back to the center, bend the knee, stretch your right leg out, left leg goes up to the ceiling, hold here, keep your shoulders down, get that leg as straight as you can, just holding that leg in your left hand, drop the leg out to the left, slide that hand up towards the ankle, breathing out, take the leg back to the center, crossing over the body. Keep the left hips down, so don't let everything roll over. So we keep that left hip stuck to the mat as you pull that leg with your right hand. Good. Now pull the knee back into the chest, chin to the chest. We're going to come back into our little ball, rolling ourselves up to sitting. Roll all the way up. Flip over to all fours. I want you to drop your chin, tuck your tailbone, rounding your spine into a cat stretch, and then reverse it. Lift your head, ripple through your spine until you're arching the back. Inhale, exhale, chin to chest, rolling from the top of the spine through down to that tailbone, breathing out, emptying the lungs, and then reversing it, lifting the tailbone, arching the lower back, middle back, upper back, head comes up. Last as you fill the lungs. And one more time, chin to chest, rounding, rippling through from the top to the bottom into your cat stretch. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees up, lift your tailbone up to the ceiling, and then walk your hands back to your feet, hanging over your legs. Nod the head yes, shake the head no, and soften your knees, scoop your belly button in, and slowly start rolling yourself back up to standing. Just restacking, lifting up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The head comes up, the arms go up. Finish with a lovely balance, heels nice and high. And then reach your arms out to the side. And one last stretch, opening the chest. Swing everything out. Give yourself a round of applause. Well done. And we're going to do another beginner session day after tomorrow on Thursday. So if you enjoyed that, we'll change it up a little bit, but keep it at the same level on Thursday. So hope to see you then. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Bye, Mom.